This is the download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news of the business of podcasting, brought to you by Spreaker from iHeart. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Monday, September 3rd. Welcome to the new month. Cohost and Sounds Profitable released the Impact of Branded Podcast report, uncovering key insights on brands with podcasts. Podcast analytics and insights provider Cohost, created by the Quill podcast agency, has published a new report titled The Impact of Branded Podcasts, created in partnership with Sounds Profitable. Key findings include high satisfaction with podcast initiatives, with 90% of brands surveyed saying they're pleased with their podcast's performance. The primary challenge found for respondent brands is the resources required to spin up a branded podcast, with 58% agreeing with that sentiment. Next up, Australian podcasting continues growth. This is from multiple sources. New reports from multiple sources, hey, who knew, show the podcasting scene in Australia is showing no signs of slowing. In the overall audio space, the Australian Internet Advertising Revenue Report, compiled by PwC and IAB Australia, finds podcast and streaming audio advertising expenditure increased 23.6% year over year as of June, reaching $290 million AUD. Meanwhile, CRA and Triton Digital have published the Australian Podcast Biannual Report, covering the first half of the year. According to the study, Australian average monthly listeners, tracked on Triton Digital podcast metrics, grew 8.7% year over year. The top 5 genres in the country in ascending order: sports, comedy, news, true crime, and at the top, society and culture. Next up, there's a $1.8 billion political ad blitz coming after Labor Day. Advertisers are gearing up for election season with almost $1.8 billion in political spending reportedly reserved to run after Labor Day, according to Ad Impact. Issue-specific spending takes up the largest slice of the ad spend pie, with $231 million, with a further $401.5 million specifically noted for presidential reservations, mainly focusing on key battleground states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. Democrats are reportedly spending more than Republicans, with a difference of 41%. As political channels go all in for this election season, U.S.-focused political podcasts stand to benefit, especially as their niche nature makes it easy for advertisers to reach voters on a variety of issues. And finally, just a quick one, Chartable analytics are back. Pod News reports Spotify's Chartable platform sent an email to publishers on August 30th, confirming that the analytics dashboard, which has been offline since mid-August, was restored on August 29th. The email says publishers can expect their data to be up to date. As for the rest of the news, Simplecast has launched an integration with Make by Headliner to generate engaging social video from audio podcasts. Right Side Up is hosting a Take 20 webinar on performance audio this Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Inside Audio Marketing has covered Sounds Profitable's latest study, The Podcast Landscape. Listener now has Australian ad sales rights to the hit Kelsey Brother podcast New Heights, thanks to their exclusive sales rep partnership with Wondery. Good Tape has launched a website, unveiled a new creative studio, and is taking pre-orders for its next publication, The Celebrity Issue. OSHA has published a guide to navigating the Spotify algorithm as a podcaster. And finally, Atalyst Media welcomes This Is So Awkward to its podcast network. Be sure to check out the links to every article mentioned right in your podcast listening app or at soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to the newsletter version. The download is written and produced by Newton Shuttlecotti, myself, Brian Barletta, and Tom Webster. This episode is hosted on Spreaker. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis. Download us again tomorrow.